He bought a Gibson.
Welcome back, troglodytes, to your daily dose of guitar information.
Now forgive me, but I feel it's only just that for this episode we go full troggly. So we've even got the GoPro strapped to my head. Now this guitar has come all the way from Japan. We've got no rosewood written on the box, which unnecessary and is also a complete lie, but I do appreciate the seller's commitment to making sure that I did get the guitar. Now I've been looking for one of these for quite some time now, and I will explain why. Pretty solid pack job. So I should probably tell you why I actually bought this, because me buying a Gibson, bit unusual. Actually, more than a bit. But I've been looking for one of these for quite some time. See, what got me started in guitar playing was the School of Rock movie.
The reason that I'm standing in front of people on a YouTube channel in front of a guitar is Jack Black. In the School of Rock. The School of Rock had 3 guitars featured in it, pretty much. There was a Gibson Explorer at the start of the movie, and then there was an SG, played by Jack Black, and then there was a Flying V. Those were the 3 guitars that were featured. The V always stood out to me as something that was really cool. And I don't know, indoctrination, product placement works. 9-year-old me thought that was the coolest thing that I'd ever seen, and I wanted one. But I was 9, so obviously I couldn't get one. So anyway, I grew up a bit taller than I was, and, well, I had played Les Pauls and I played SGs, and they weren't really for me, so it didn't really make sense as to why a V would be. So I kind of, I don't know, grew out of it, but then, maybe last year, I got the chance to play an original 70s Gibson Flying V. And I will insert a clip now. So I got to play that vintage 70s V, and I fell in love with it. I loved it. However, it was a bit out of my price range. Number one, being a vintage 70s V, so expensive. And B, it was owned by Johnny Marr, and it was loaned out to Noel Gallagher to record Oasis albums. So yeah, a little bit out of my price range. But I got to play it, I enjoyed playing it, and I realised I liked Flying Vs. So I start looking, I'm searching, and I got close to buying like the 2022 70s V, and then the buyer upped his price and then took it off the market. He just didn't want to sell it. So no. And then I kept searching and nothing on Reverb, and then I just decided one day I'll look on eBay. This was up. This was in Japan. It was beat up. It is beat up. It's old. It's a 1996.
That's so old.
Like vintage, proper. Glen's also a 1996 model, but this one has, I think, slightly higher mileage. It's Let's take a look.
I don't know. I've been played a few times in my life, so.
Let's take a look.
That sounds like a David Lee Roth man. Oh, guys.
Yep. It's rather pink.
It is. I love when it's I was gonna say I love when it's pink inside, but you can't say that without it sounding weird. There we go. As a Kiss fan, I'm so envious that you're the one with the V, and not me.
Okay. Do you know anything about the Flying V's history?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
And this story is supposedly portrayed by Joe Bonamassa, so I trust him when it comes to vintage Gibsons because he's paid like multi-millions for them. So it's 1957-ish, and Ted McCarty, who's the guy who designed his name's on the design for the Les Paul, the SG, the double cut, the Explorer V, Modern, all of them pretty much. Anything that Gibson makes now, or almost everything solid body wise, Ted McCarty had some involvement in. And it was said that it's 1957 or whatever, it's at NAMM, and someone says something and it hurts his feelings, gets to him, says, Gibson just makes old man guitars. Which is incredibly ironic and sounds like something that I'd say. But this kind of annoys Ted, and he decides, alright, I'm going to make the guitars of the future. The name couldn't have been more correct. They were the guitars of the future because they were truly Marty McFly's. You're not going to love them, but your kids are. They completely flopped. I think there were less than 90. There were 91 Vs apparently made. That was it. Because they were too expensive and they were too wild and crazy for the times. They were made out of Carina. I'll put up a picture. Anyway, 1967 rolls by, and Gibson decided that they're going to reissue the Flying V, but with some changes. And that's what this is. This is a 1967 reissue-ish reissue. Reissue, yeah. With some issues. The difference was mahogany body, mahogany neck. They changed the pickguard to this full body pickguard, or near enough full body pickguard, and they did the stop tailpiece instead of string through. They changed the control layout. They put the input on the pickguard instead of down here. They also changed the body shape so that it kind of swoops into the neck, and they also changed. They put the logo on the truss rod cover instead of like a big like metal plaque that says Gibson. A whole lot of changes, and that's what this guitar is. Became popular through the 70s and into the 80s, and that's when they became like the rock guitar. They're used by players like Kirk Hammett, James Hetfield,
Paul Stanley,
KK Downing, and one of the things was that they used to modify these guitars with a couple of different things, and this guitar has been modified.
Now I have a question.
Okay.
So, your inspiration, or a new word that I've learned the other day, your inspo for buying this guitar was School of Rock. So when you saw his V, you thought, that looks really cool, I would love to have that.
Yes.
Were you dead set all that time on it has to be a white V like he plays?
Okay, so that's I was going to get onto this. Why I bought this one. I've looked at Vs on the market. I've been looking for a while. And there's one thing that I've noticed. Nitro, which is what they finish all the Gibsons in, it yellows. It ages over time. And if you take a white V, which is never white, it's like it's cream already.
Yeah.
It goes yellow. And sometimes it's like a dirty yellow, it's like a smoker's yellow. Sometimes it goes banana yellow. I've seen a couple of those.
That's crazy.
Like proper full on yellow. And I just that's not for me. So what I know I didn't want was a cherry one.
Why?
I've just thought that's the least cool out of the three for me.
Okay. So a cherry for you is an SG.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's just not like I know KK Downing, Judas Priest. He used one. He had a Medallion 71 Medallion V, but it's just not for me. So this shows up on the market, and I noticed that it's the best price I've seen, and still is. And there's reasons for that. It is old, and it is well used. It's also heavily modified. So
I feel very offended every time you say it's old.
well, it's not new, is it?
No.
No.
It's not.
No. So it's modified. Let's run through the modifications, okay? The bridge pickup has been replaced, and I absolutely despise it. I hate it with a passion. It has to go.
Why?
It sucks.
Like,
okay.
I really want to hear this.
Okay, this is no, I can see the reasoning behind it. This is not for me. So, this is a DiMarzio Super 3. I played it and I went, oh, I don't like this, and then I googled it, and the Super 3 is a pickup designed for those who like to scoop their mids. I do not scoop my mids, so it's taking my mids and it's putting mids on top of my mids, and it sounds like
sounds moody or something.
It sounds like a duck. It's like a cocked wag.
Oh, okay.
Like in just one hump frequency. So I could cut that from the amp, but then if I switch guitar, then all the other guitars sound weird. I don't like. I can see why maybe if all your guitars had this, then it would make sense, but they don't, and they won't, and I don't like it. So no. Other modifications. They said that this knob was changed, but it's actually not. It's just that the silver piece has fallen out.
Oh.
And it's broken.
And they didn't know that?
No. And then this one is also a bit chipped up and broken, and it looks like it's been super glued back together. This, like the poker chip, that's not stock on these. So someone added that, and I think that looks cool.
It does, yeah.
And then the other thing that looks cool, that's just purely for aesthetics, is these pickup rings. Those were also not stock. And I love that. This was a modification that was really popular in the 70s because the players like KK Downing, as I said, Metallica, they'd put these pickup rings on so that they could raise the pickups just a little bit higher. So actually, let's... this is a restring, so let's restring.
Some of the scratches are very questionable.
Alright, let's talk about scratches. right? So this guitar is in pretty rough shape.
I wouldn't even say that.
Well, let's take a closer look, right? So of course you can see here where the lacquer has sunk into the wood.
Yep.
But that's common enough on like the older guitars. But then there are just some like scratches that you'd expect to see. Like there's a whole bunch of dings and dents and all sorts on the face of the guitar, and of course scratches on the back. There's actually seemingly less scratches on the back than on the front. There's checking on the neck,
Which looks cool.
this is like a little crackly finish. There's a couple of dings and dents in the neck, but that's nothing crazy. But the big thing that stands out on this guitar is someone had stickers on this. So they had stickers here. You can see where the finish has changed up completely.
That's what that is.
And these squares and rectangles on the back, they're stickers.
Oh.
So you can actually feel the finish kind of changes. Because like that's been protected underneath the sticker. And it looks like someone had like a flame sticker here. Actually, yes, that's exactly what they had in the right light. There's a flame.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I can see, yeah.
It's like a tribal like tattoo. So oh, and then whoever had this before was also in a really heavy picker, because the pick guard is absolutely like scratched to bits
Annihilated.
underneath. Yeah. There's a couple of assumptions we can make about this player. They did not use the neck pickup at all, because the neck pickup's actually it's okay. It's not like what I'm using when I'm avoiding the bridge pickup. I've raised it up now, but it was absolutely sunken into the body, like so that the levels on the pickups did not match at all. So I've raised that up just a bit to tide me over until I can replace them, because they are absolutely going to be replaced. The tone knob doesn't really work that much. Let's take the strings off and actually let's take a look at underneath the pickguard.
The headstock as well.
Oh, the headstock's got some weird scratching, like I don't know what
That's
the hell
so
that was.
intentional. That is very intentional.
Yeah.
That's like a cat or something got at it. Like, there's no way a human did that.
I feel like a human did. It's really weird. People are often like, "Oh, don't cut the strings. You'll scratch the guitar." Lol.
So would you ever refinish it?
No.
Okay.
See, that's actually one of the reasons that I wanted this.
Okay.
Was because it's absolutely battered. Because if I'm buying a Gibson, it's going to be a nitro finish, so it's going to check, it's going to scratch, the nitro finishes are normally soft when they come out of the factory new, and they can dent very easily, and I know that if I did that I would hate myself. So
once it's not you.
once it's not me that did it, I don't care. We've got a full weight tailpiece with the seam down the middle, and let's take a look at the bridge. ABR1. No, it's an Asheville, I think.
Oh, it is it?
Yeah, because it's got the posts in the body, but we'll
Yeah.
have to take that off actually. I haven't seen under the pickguard yet. We got a crack in the pickguard too. That's kind of common on these. Do you like it so far? Like you haven't played it, but
Yeah, but I feel like my whole life is a lie. I've only ever Gibson fanboy, Gibson fan. I'm standing next to you. You're wearing a Gibson hat.
someone's been in here.
How do you know?
The screws aren't coming out.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, as in like there's nothing holding that one in. So someone's been in here a few times, more than once.
Well, as you said, it's from '96, so it's old.
Vintage.
Yeah, vintage.
But
Yeah.
not at the vintage price tag.
Just unsubscribe. Just unsubscribe.
Speaking of which, have you liked the video yet?
I don't know, maybe they're too old to.
Oh, I hate this. Hang on.
This is kinda scary.
Oh, someone's definitely been in here. Look. We got a mod.
Oh.
We've got someone routed this. This is for a 9-volt battery. So whoever had this was probably like Metallica-ing with their EMGs or something.
Or maybe that's where you store the razor blade for the headstock. Got some nice dirt there as well.
Oh, some gunk. Lovely. We'll try and get that off. Oh, look at this. What is that? We've got a Gibson USA humbucker. Doesn't say anything else. And we knew that this was a DiMarzio. It's a Super 3. And then what are our pots here? These have been replaced too. So yeah, those aren't new. We might change the capacitor to something like an orange drop or something, because it's not really doing much for us at the moment. But yeah, so that's been rewired.
I don't think that's gonna work.
Gunky wonky's off. No, it's not moving at all. They might be actually burned into the finish underneath. Sometimes people spill stuff on guitars with nitro finishes, and it. Oh yeah, that's like glue. That's like physically.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder what that is.
Probably. Let's hope it's not bodily fluids. What are you laughing at?
Bodily fluids.
Well, you've got a pube guitar.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No.
No, that's eaten into the finish.
Think you just slap the pick guard on and pretend it's not there.
Well, I don't really care. Like, that's the thing. That's why it's so freeing. Oh, well, here's another modification that the previous owner did. Or previous owners, perhaps.
I think there's an S on that.
Yeah. They thought, this guitar balances perfectly, by the way, but they thought, let's drill not one, but 2 extra holes for the strap pin, and then put it back to where it was anyway. That screws a push-in one.
That's scary.
So I may have to fill that hole in sometime. There's going to be a whole heap of modifications done to this. Maybe I think that'll be in a separate video.
Are you looking at doing a lot?
I'm changing pickups. I'm
Hardware?
maybe have to change the bridge because it's collapsed. That's more of a necessity mod than anything. I'm definitely changing the capacitor on the tone knob. I'd love to change the tuners.
No, don't drill a hole into this.
Why? Oh yeah, because it's in pristine condition, man. You don't want to ding it.
No, just don't though.
So this guitar has a rosewood fretboard, and it's gonna look quite nice in a second. The frets are in actually like perfect condition, by the way,
Woo.
for like a 1996.
Has it been refretted?
I can't tell because there's no binding on this, so there's no
Fret nibs?
nibs.
Just giving it a bat.
I'm giving it some speed wax.
I'm giving it some speed wax. Why did that sound like Justin Hawkins? I will see you on the ice. That's what he said. Catch you on the ice. Justin Hawkins rides again.
What we're gonna do is we're going to top wrap these strings. Top wrap, you say? Top wrap, I say.
I did.
And the reason is because, as I said, so the bridge is supposed to be like curved with the radius of the fretboard, but with all the downforce on it, it is flattened out. It is collapsed. It is now a little happy face instead of a sad face. So that's not right. So to reduce the angle of downforce, we're going to keep the bass, the stop tailpiece decked, but we're going to top wrap so the angle of the string is much less. So we're putting a little bit less tension on the bridge until we sort it out. This is a little trick that I learned from Joe Bonamos's tech. He was doing a rig rundown.
Oh, I know what you're gonna do. You showed me this before.
Is I've cut the ball end of the previous strings, and I'm going to take this ball end and I'm going to thread it on top of the new string. Give us a moment. The reason for this is if we thread this through, okay? We thread this through here, because this is what we'll be doing. Goes in nice and flush, and when we bend it over, we get that little wrap, that double wrap.
The little kink.
Yeah, and it hurts because it can be pointy, that bit there, when you bend it. So we need something to space it, just something small, to Kevin Spacey it. Wait, that means something else, doesn't it? We thread it on with the little ball end to space it. Now look, there's no... The cables? The strings are now on, but they are very much telephone cables on thickness. But yeah, that's the video. Thank you for watching. There will be
Oh my god, you mean the strings are on?
Yeah, we're going to, I mean, not we, me. We're going to modify this guitar. You're going to join us for the ride, though.
Whether you like it or not.
So subscribe so you don't miss that. This guitar will be featured again, and I like it. It's quite nice.
I like it too.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time, maybe, possibly. Oh, and by the way, I didn't play this guitar in this video because, honestly, not loving the sound out of that bridge pickup, and I'm not just going to do a neck pickup demo of this guitar. So let's wait till I mod it, and you'll see and hear this guitar very soon. Bye-bye!